Hello everybody. Today in this video I would like to talk about using a CPAP on a portable power station. Quick backstory, the wife and I went out boondocking over the summer, and I had a weak house battery in the RV, and didn't really think much of it. So as we're packing up, I load up my trusty CPAP and my 12 volt AC power converter. This plugs into a cigarette lighter, just runs off 12 volts and steps up the voltage to that. No big deal. One thing I need to say first off is I do not use my humidifier, and I do not use the tube heater or the hose heater. I never have. I just don't like it. So when you're doing this, you're going to want to turn those two options off anyway, because the humidifier, the heater element that's in here, sucks up a lot of power. And same thing with your hose. So that being said, I'm just using the CPAP pump portion only and none of the other heaters, okay? Anyway, we go camping and everything. I plug in with my handy dandy DC to DC converter here, and go to bed. And I get about halfway through the night, about 1:30 in the morning, my CPAP turns off, wakes me up, house battery's dead, no CPAP action, and I just couldn't go back to sleep the rest of the night. And that's pretty dangerous for some folks that have severe issues that absolutely have to have that CPAP. So anyway, I decided, I'm going to fix the coach battery. That's fine, but I don't ever want to experience that again. And what about folks that are tent camping, overlanding, van life folks, and all that kind of stuff? You don't really want to be putting all that stress on your main vehicle battery. So I started looking into these portable power generators, and this is something that I'm not familiar with, or I was not familiar with, I should say. So I started doing a lot of research into those, and I was finding spotty, hit and miss information on using a CPAP. So basically, I'm not going to go over with like the features on this or anything yet. That's in another video that will be released. But I decided to get this just because the amount of power that this thing will store. All right. So I went with the Bluetti AC50. So here's what I found. First of all, I want to tell you that the AC to DC power unit that comes with it will work on one of these. The problem with this is when you go over and use the AC or the plug-in portion of these, you have to turn on the inverter that's built into these. So these have basically a battery. They have the brains of the system. They have a DC side, which just basically goes through the brains and then to the battery. And then on the AC side, though, we have a power inverter, because we've got to take this 12 point whatever volts and run it through a device to create 110 volts. So that's where the inverter is. So that process alone makes running something like this tax this battery even more. It's a very inefficient way to do what we need to do. I generally will still take this in my battery pack just in case, because if you're RVing or whatever and you got shore power, that's fine. However, again, I want to be totally self-sufficient. So my first test actually was doing this. I did some tests here at the house, and what I wanted to do is see if this battery pack could even power this up, this extremely inefficient way to do it with the AC converter. And so here are my findings. When I ran the CPAP through the AC inverter, no heaters, no humidity or anything like that, I got 7 hours, 25 minutes of sleep, and I had 51% of my battery left. Okay, so that's pretty good. Those were good numbers. In my opinion, that actually surprised me, because I thought it would have been down to like 30, 35%. Okay, so I've done this a few times and pretty much come up with these same numbers. So it wasn't like a one-time deal. So again, about half of the amount of stored energy was used when I used the AC adapter. All right, so charge it up again. And by the way, when you're down to about 50%, this particular unit takes about 2 hours, 45 minutes or so to recharge from AC wall current. All right, so now that being said, I'm like, well, it's going to be interesting to see what this more efficient way of doing things is. So anyway, I open this up, I plug it in, right? Because this is what that's for. And I ran this for 8 hours. I got an 8-hour night's sleep, which is kind of a lot for me. And at the end of that 8 hours and a couple minutes, I had 62% of battery life left. So that's pretty good. I look at it this way. If I had to run this for 2 nights without recharging it, I can do it. Okay, this will work out just fine, I believe, and I'll still have a little bit of juice left in here the next morning, and I probably won't take this thing all the way down to the bottom, which we don't want to do with something like this. So 1 night for sure, with plenty of leftover power to do a second night in a pinch. With this method here, 1 night, no problem. I wouldn't push it for 2 nights. I don't think you'd make it 2 nights. And you don't want to drain this thing down all the way. It will damage that battery. You'll just cut down the overall life of the portable power station. So anyway, not bad at all. I'm pretty happy. Again, I got the AC50b. They did have in their lineup at the time a smaller one for like $199. And I was like, that's the price range I was looking at. I wanted to try to stay under $200, but I figured, according to my calculations, it would have been pushing it with 1 night. And I believe that to be true. So I did spend the extra $59. So this was like $259 on Amazon. I'll leave a link to this stuff down below. But anyway, I figured let's just go with this one here and see what happens. So I'm very, very happy with this purchase. 448 watt hours of storage, 700 watt maximum on the AC side of it. We have 10 watt maximum draw, 10 amp maximum draw from the 12 volt cigarette lighter portion. We still have all of our outputs to charge devices, 2 USB-Cs, a USB-A, and then last but not least, another reason why I bought this one, this comes with the extra accessory cables. So with some of the other ones I was looking at, they were kind of nickel and diming on extra cables. These guys did not do that. So what I like about this is if I'm boondocking, I can take and plug a small solar panel, a little portable solar panel into this and charge it this way. I can also use the provided plug and charge this from my vehicle's cigarette lighter. So, like you go into town the next day or something for supplies or sightseeing, just tag this with you, plug it into your cigarette lighter, and this will be charging while you're driving, and you're good to go for another night, possibly 2 if you need to. But that's what I found. It works for me, and it works for me very well. So anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do so, because I have some other stuff planned for this. I've been doing other testing as well, and I'd like to share some of that with you. All right, thanks for watching. Cheers.